two former jihadist operatives from the United States, including one who reportedly trained with Lashkar-e-Toiba in Pakistan in 2000 and took part in attacks in Jammu and Kashmir, have been appointed to the White House Advisory Board of the Religious Freedom Commission by Trump administration. Ismail Royar, one of the appointees, is a former jihadist who served 13 years in prison on non-terror related charges. In 2003, Royar was charged with terrorism-related offences, including conspiring to wage war against the United States and providing support to Al-Qaeda and Lashkar-e-Toiba. He pleaded guilty in 2004 to aiding the use of firearms and explosive, and was in fact sentenced to 20 years and served 13 years. Sheikh Hazma Yusuf, co-founder of Zaytuna College, is also one of the advisory board list. He is alleged to have links with Islamic jihadists and proscribed terror groups, according to a close ally of US President Donald Trump. White House has been quick to defend its actions. According to the White House statement, Roya is currently the director of the Islam and Religious Freedom Action Team at the Religious Freedom Institution. According to the White House, Roya has worked with non-profits to promote peace between faiths. Joining us at this point of time is Ambassador K.P. Fabian, former diplomat. So thank you so much for taking out time and speaking to us on NewsX. What do you make of the choice by the Trump administration, sir?
Well, I'm just looking at the White House statement and about Ismail Roya. It says that, he converted, I think, in 1992. That means he seems to be a white American. And there is nothing which shows that, he was in any way associated with any extremism. And it says that Royer has worked with non-profits to promote peace between faiths. His writing has appeared in multiple publications, and he co-authored articles on Islam, on, quote, religious violence today, another faith and conflict in the modern world. And similarly, about Sheikh Hamza Yusuf, there is nothing which shows that he had any association with terrorism. And as you mentioned, the Zaytuna College, which is the first Islamic liberal arts college. So I would suggest that the report which has appeared based on somebody called Lara, I forget the name, should be rechecked. And Yusuf was in the first Trump administration. He served on the State Department's Commission on Unalienable Rights.
Right, sir, absolutely. But, not too long ago, not too long ago, Donald Trump has been making all these statements saying that I was the one who brokered the ceasefire between India and Pakistan. And right after that, we're seeing the appointment of these two individuals. What does that say about the United States, and what does that say about the Trump administration then?
I'll put it this way, when all these appointments, such appointments are made, very diligent checking is required. And with Musk having sacked so many civil servants, we are not sure whether the checking procedure is diligently applied. So it is possible that they have made a mistake. But as I said, the White House resume about the two persons, reads very well. There is no association. That is why I said this needs further digging out.
Absolutely, sir. It does indeed need a lot of digging out. But then with that, of course, being said, we're talking about the Religious Freedom Commission. These two individuals that we are referring to have a history. We're aware of that. How does this all, my question being, what is the best reasoning that the United States can perhaps give to keep these two individuals, to make them appointees to the Religious Freedom Commission? That's a big thing, sir.
I agree with you. But as I said, they may have made a mistake in checking, but we also need to dig further into the report. Let's do both.
All right, so absolutely. With that, I'd like to thank you for joining us on the broadcast, sharing your perspectives with our viewers. Remember, we are, of course, talking about this big development that's taken place in the United States, where two former jihadist operatives from the United States, including one who had reportedly been training with the Lashkar-e-Toiba in Pakistan in 2000. He's one of those individuals who's been appointed. They've in fact been appointed to the White House Advisory Board of the Religious Freedom Commission by the Trump administration. What exactly has happened over here? What does the White House statement say? How does the Trump administration then respond? Are, of course, the questions that loom large. We are going to be getting in more guests to share this perspective, to share their perspectives. But for now, of course, big news are coming in from the United States, where two former jihadists have been appointed to the White House Advisory Board of the Religious Freedom Commission by the Trump administration. Remember, we are, of course, talking about two individuals. Let's take this conversation forward with Professor Madhav Nalapat, Editorial Director of the Sunday Guardian. Sir, again, we have been talking about these two former jihadist operatives. What do you make of the two appointees, considering the situation right now, the overall situation that we are in?
It's a very serious situation, because the two jihadists are only a symptom. The problem is that the real Donald Trump is no longer there. This is some other Donald Trump, not the real Donald Trump, who, you remember, when a bullet was fired at him, he refused to flinch, and instead of falling to the ground, even when the Secret Service had pounced on him and was protecting him a little late, he clenched put his arm high, clenched his fist, and said, fight, 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 fight. This is the real Donald Trump. So, I mean, I am very surprised to see this change in the man. Surprised to see that, for example, he's saying all kinds of nice things about the president of Syria, I mean, al-Jalani. His new name doesn't change the fact that he's al-Jalani, a man on the terrorist wanted list. And frankly, after al-Jalani took over power in a coup ousting Bashar Assad, who frankly nobody wanted to support because he had become very corrupt over the last period of his term, the reality is that I am surprised at the change that has happened to Donald Trump. And this is having an impact on U.S. policy. I can't believe that the excellent people he has chosen to manage national security and other systems, including Director of National Intelligence or the Defense Secretary and Homeland Secretary or the new the FBI chief. I don't believe any of them would be happy at this state of affairs, but obviously they're all loyal supporters of President Trump, and therefore being loyal supporters, they will follow whatever he wants. But frankly, it's a worry for the world, because example, China. He suddenly says he's reduced tariffs on China, suddenly saying something about India. Now, India is very important to the United States. It's been recognized by even by Joe Biden and by candidate Trump. And suddenly, frankly, almost 15 years, and he equates India with Pakistan. It is an absurdity. So very frankly, I think the real Donald Trump better come and make himself